Hello everybody, this is Rick Hassey, and this is our introduction video to our spring term course at the University of Laverne, Business Finance 330. And I want to welcome all of you to our class for this coming spring. I know you don't have much of a break for many of you from the winter term, but I appreciate you looking at this video as an introduction to our course this spring. This is an interesting course. We're continuing in our same online platform and Blackboard platform for these next 10 weeks. But it is also a course where it's an online course. This course is originally, if this was under normal times, meaning non-pandemic times, it would be online. There'd be no class sessions at all. But because of the times we are in, this class is online, but also I will be having voluntary class lectures every Wednesday evening via Zoom at 6 o'clock. It'll last a couple hours or so. Again, these are voluntary. You don't have to come to those lectures every Wednesday. All the material is located in our Blackboard, and we'll go over that in just a minute. But I have found that in these difficult times of the pandemic, an extra class session or some review session during the course of our week has helped students grasp the material. It gives them an opportunity to ask questions. It gives me an opportunity to review things in a little bit more detail than I would have if this was an entirely online course. So that's how we're going to be setting up. This is an online course, but it also is available for every Wednesday night for every student, a lecture of which I'll record that lecture and post it to our Blackboard site. And this is our Blackboard site, as you can see in front of you. I have every week of the course set up, and so you can click on any one of those weeks and see all the material for the class for that particular time period. I also have our course syllabus and course information available on the Blackboard, and I've already sent all of you a copy of our syllabus, which I'd like you to read prior to our course beginning next week. Also some information about our Zoom link where our class is going to be on Wednesday. And also I have student office hours every Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 1 to 3. If you have any extra questions or extra issues that you'd like to go over with me, that's my office hours, but also you can contact me at any time during the course of a week if you have any questions or concerns. Also, I have a Zoom or YouTube links file folder. This is the link to our class on Wednesday night. Click on that and you're there. Also, this link is also in our opening page of our Blackboard right here as well. Click on that link and I'll be there Wednesday night. As a matter of fact, I come on about 5:30 and just put up the agenda and get organized, but the class will begin every Wednesday at 6 p.m. And again, this is a voluntary class. If you don't want to attend, you don't have to. It'll help you understand the material, but this is an online class and all the material is in Blackboard. Speaking of the Zoom YouTube links, here's also the links to our student hours on Tuesday and Thursdays afternoons. So if you go to week number 1, this is our first week, click on the link and it talks about an introduction to the course. What's this course all about? What are we going to be studying? It gives you a link to our YouTube site. If you click on that link, you'll go to our YouTube site. And this is a playlist and a group of videos that I have for every one of my classes. And you want to go to the playlist video. I introduced as well, but you want to look for the playlist for Business 330, Business Finance, Spring 2021. You click on that, and these are all videos about topics of our class. I will be posting all the class recordings and the introduction videos like this one to this YouTube playlist. The links will be in Blackboard, so you'll be able to have access to all kinds of videos which will help you learn the material during the course of our class. And I will be going to this list every week in our class and showing you what's there and what you have available. Right now, there's some introduction videos, defining finance, defining the CFO of a company, defining various aspects of the financial markets, because this first week of our class is designed for chapters 1 and 2, an introduction to finance and what are the financial markets. So that's our YouTube site, and it can be a very helpful tool to your studies in this class. Also, if we go back to the Blackboard, oops, sorry, here we go. There we go. So every week, let's go back to every week. Week number 1, it has I have the agenda for tonight's class, or for this week's class. Topics, problems, readings that I'll be going over. I'll do an agenda for every week, post it with my introduction video to the week's activities. Our week begins Mondays through Sunday. All graded material is due every Sunday evening. Our class is on Wednesday, halfway through our normal week of the material. Also, if you have any questions or concerns, we have a student discussion file folder where you can post any questions or concerns, and we'll talk more about that when we have our class on Wednesday. But you'll see a file folder there for week number 1 where you can post questions if you'd like to. Instead of texting me or emailing me, you can post questions and I will answer them for you. So all the material is in every week. We have our chapters. Here's our chapters. Our textbook is the 10th edition of the Fundamentals of Corporate Finance. I give you a PowerPoint of each chapter over the key topics of each chapter, and a brief explanation of what is going on in each chapter. Also, as time goes on, and we'll talk about this, I give review problems. These review problems are not for grading. They're just to help you learn the material. I even give you the solutions to the review problems from the textbook. Also, I will be going over not all of these review problems, but most of the review problems every Wednesday in my lecture about the material. And this is set up the same way every week throughout our class. And as you can see, if you go to week 2, financial statements and analysis, again, very similar, same way, same format. And it's like that for every week. So if any of you would like to get a head start, jump on forward. You've been more than willing to do that. That's the material for our class. Speaking of our class, I'd like you to get to review the course syllabus prior to our meet next week and prior to the introduction of our class next Wednesday evening. Here is a syllabus that is quite a lengthy document, and I apologize for that, but it gives all the information you need about our course. Here again, there's our link to our class on Wednesdays via Zoom. Here's a link to our student hours, Tuesday and Thursdays. Here's some links to Blackboard. There's a link to our YouTube channel where you can go to the playlist for our class. I have a link to Twitter and a link to Wall Street Journal for information that you might use throughout our class. And then a description of the course, what we're going to try to accomplish. There's our textbook, the 10th edition. Some students have already emailed me saying, I have the 9th edition. Is that okay to use? And that is okay to use. No, don't worry about that. If you have the 9th edition, that is fine. I give PowerPoints of every chapter. I give the review problems in the Blackboard. So all that information is also provided. Here's what we're going to be learning, the percent of time that we'll be talking about this material, our grading policy, expectations. This class is not a class that you need to attend with me. It's an online class, but again, I have class every Wednesday, which will be recorded and posted to Blackboard and YouTube. The homework is not graded, as I was just saying. Review problems are just for review. We have 4 assignments, 1 final examination, and a case paper as our assessment tools in this class. Academic honesty naturally is important to understand that in the context of our remote learning. Please review that. And then we have the usual Laverne propaganda of our mission of the university, diversity statements, social justice, Title IX, all kinds of information for you if you need any resources for counseling, student health, campus safety, academic success center, if you'd like to find a tutor for this class. Any questions on this, please let me know, but go through this material and make sure you understand it. Also, there's a privacy issue with this all being posted online. My recorded videos will have no access for anybody else except for you. All that material is private and will not be shown in the public venues of the internet, YouTube, Blackboard, and that sort of thing. And then finally, probably the most important part for all of you is get to know our schedule. Notice here, everything here that is in yellow is for a grade. You have a discussion forum this week due on Sunday, March 28th. All our graded work is due by midnight on Sundays. When you have work to do, it's due on midnight on Sundays, posted to Blackboard. Our first assignment is in a couple weeks. Next week, we have no technically graded work to do, but I will be putting up on the internet a schedule of student interviews. I liked in the first part of every class, since we are remote, for every student to come on with me individually for about 10 minutes, just to make sure we're comfortable with the course. I can answer any questions or concerns you may have, and just to get to know me a little bit better. So we'll be doing those student interviews, which are mandatory, next week, and we'll talk more about that in the coming week. And it's going all the way through to the end of our class on May 23rd with our final assignment, on May 30th, with our final examination and our case paper due, and we'll talk more about that as we get going in class. But all the work is done on your own outside of class. The only work you have to do inside of class for a grade will be our very last class on May 26th, where that class will be part 1 of the final examination you'll do in class on that date. So for all of you who choose not to participate in our voluntary classes on Wednesday, you will have to come online on that Wednesday, May 26th, and take part 1 of the final examination and post it that evening. Then I'll give you part 2 to take home and do the remaining part of the week and post by May 30th. And we'll talk more about that as time goes on. So that's the syllabus. That's our schedule. So it's very important for you prior to the class beginning next week is to make sure you understand all this. If you have any questions, you let me know, and we'll be all set to tackle the wonderful and wacky world of business finance. In this class, I think this material will help you with a lot of, there I am. Hello, everybody. Oh, by the way, I'm located in Claremont. This is my office in beautiful Claremont, California. I'm doing this introduction video on today, Thursday, March 18th, and I need a haircut. I just noticed that. I got to get a haircut. I look like a jerk. But this is where our remote class will be, and this is where I'll be every Wednesday evening during the course of our spring term. So as I was saying, going back to our discussion, is that we'll be studying a lot of relevant material, not only to corporate finance, naturally, that's what our course is all about, but also personal finance. A lot of the material we'll talk about is about stocks, investments, portfolios. You'll be doing a stock portfolio as one of the learning tools in this class. And learning about how to use Excel or spreadsheets, learning about how to do research on the internet, learning how to use the internet like YouTube to study and find resources, all kinds of information you'll learn to help you not only in your business studies, but also in your own management of your own financial lives. So I think that will be a good part of it. So I'll leave you with this. Looking forward to working with you next week. Our class officially begins on Monday. We have our class lecture every Wednesday. I look forward to seeing you all. Until then, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to email me. Feel free to text me. My text number is on our syllabus on the very first page, along with my email address, or post to the student discussion forum here in Blackboard. But please review, learn the Blackboard, learn the platform, and learn where all the material is. And if you have any questions, we'll tackle that next week. So thanks, everybody. Look forward to seeing you all next week, and welcome to our class. Adios.